Order. Question number 12, Peseta, Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Housing. What new developments in Christchurch and Auckland is the government progressing to increase the supply of housing?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, last week I announced a new $12 million, 44-unit social housing complex in Hornby involving the New Zealand Housing Foundation, the Salvation Army, Abbeyfield and the Housing Plus charitable trusts, with financial support from the government, the Canterbury Community Trust and the Christchurch City Council contributing the land. I've also announced today government's approval for a further $31 million investment by the government in the Hobsonville Land Company to enable the next stage of this project to be brought forward. The combination of this funding and the fast-track development approval process from the Special Housing Areas legislation will enable 1,000 new homes to be built earlier at Hobsonville and contribute to the Housing Accord goal of 39,000 homes over the next 3 years.
Supplementary question, Peseta, Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Honourable Minister, what specific measure included in these developments will help middle and lower income New Zealanders access good quality housing?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the Housing Foundation new homes in Christchurch development are specifically targeted at families struggling to replace homes lost in the earthquakes and for first home buyers. The complex also includes homes for vulnerable families to be provided by the Salvation Army, and it further includes Christchurch's first Abbeyfield, a British model of elderly housing that is focused on low-income older people who benefit from shared living but who do not need rest home care. The Hobsonville development includes a specific requirement for 10% of homes to be under $400,000 and a further 10% to be under $485,000. I am pleased to report that these targets are being met with the 248 sales at Hobsonville to date.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
To the Minister of Housing. Does he think his government's response of 44 units to the housing crisis in Christchurch is sufficient 3 years on from the earthquakes, given that the number of multi-family households in Christchurch has increased by 36.5%? There is a report in today's press of 30 people living in a 4-bedroom home. There are 5,000 to 7,000 people estimated by the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment to be in insecure housing in the city, and there are 15,000 to 25,000 workers arriving for the rebuild.
Yeah.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the new initiative announced in Hornby is just one of many. In fact, Labour is now complaining that I'm making too many housing announcements. In Christchurch, Housing New Zealand is building a new house every single day, 700. They are committed to repairing every one of their 5,000 damaged houses in Christchurch by the end of 2015. The Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Temporary Accommodation Service has provided for 4 villages, but I do accept that no amount of work will ever satisfy the whinges in the opposition.
That concludes questions for oral answer. Point of order. Barbara Stewart. Order.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I seek leave for the following votes on the third reading of the Kaipara District Council Validation of Rates and Other Matters Bill to be recorded in the journals. New Zealand First, 7 votes for the noes. Mana Party, 1 vote for the noes.
Order. I'm fully aware there was no vote taken. The leave is now sought to effectively amend that record. So leave is sought, as read by Barbara Stewart, for some votes opposed to that legislation to be recorded. That is, I'm putting the leave. It's available for members to decide. There is an objection. I call on government order. 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 I call on government order of the day number 1.